So this is a typical 3 mark sum. So but it will come along with the 6 marks as 3 marks. Okay, it's a very simple one. So let's get started. This is to find the adjoint of a matrix A, which is a 2 cross 2 matrix, and the elements are A, B, C and D. So to find the adjoint of a matrix, we have to do only 2 steps, right? So step 1 is to find the cofactor, right? And step 2 is to do the transpose of the cofactored matrix, right? So let's start with step 1. So how do I get the cofactor of a 2 cross 2 matrix? So the cofactor of A, if I want to find the cofactor of A, I hide this row and the corresponding column. So what remains is D. So the cofactor of A is D. So the corresponding row and column of A, when I hide it, the remaining is D, right? So let's write the cofactor of A. Don't worry about the signs, we will do the signs later. There is a plus and minus sign, we will do later. So in place of A, I am going to write D. Okay, now let's see the cofactor now for B. So to find the cofactor of B, I will hide the corresponding row of B and the column of B. So what remains is C. So in place of B, we will write C. Okay, now next let's find the cofactor of C. To find the cofactor of C, we hide the row of C and the column corresponding to C. What remains is B. So B is the cofactor of C. Now we have to find the cofactor of D. Can you try it out? So to find the cofactor of D, we will hide the row corresponding to D and column corresponding to D. And what remains is A. So A is the cofactor of D. So now we have found all the cofactors. So all you have to do is, if you want to find the cofactor of a particular element in a matrix, you hide the corresponding row and the column of the matrix. Whatever remains is the cofactor of that particular element. Okay, don't worry about the signatures, the signs. The signs, I'm going to talk about it now. You can very easily remember for a 2 cross 2 matrix. This is how you remember the sign. Okay, the first element will be positive. Okay, let me use a different color. The first element will be positive, and the corresponding diagonal element will also have the same sign. The next one will be negative. The corresponding diagonal element will have the same sign. So it is plus plus minus minus. The opposite ones have the same sign. So for a 2 cross 2 matrix, this is the way it is. For a 3 cross 3 matrix, it is different. We will talk about it later. But for a 2 cross 2, it's very simple. Opposite elements will have the same sign. So you start with a plus. The diagonal element is A here, which also has a plus. And then the next element C has a minus. So the diagonal element B also has the same sign. Okay. Now the next step 2 is to get the transpose of this. So the transpose of this will become what is transpose? The row transpose, the row becomes column and the column becomes the row, right? So if we have to see that D and minus C is a row here, that becomes the column, right? D and minus C. And minus B and A is a row here, that becomes the next column, minus B and A. So this is the transpose, right? So this also happens to be the adjoint of A. So isn't it a very very easy 3 mark sum? Can't you crack it, right? Okay, let's quickly revise again. What we did was, we had to find the adjoint of a 2 cross 2 matrix A, B, C, D. So the first step, we got the cofactors. So how do you find the cofactors of a 2 cross 2 matrix? You take an element and hide the corresponding row and the column Whatever remains, you write it here. Put the sign later. So likewise you do for all the 4 elements. And how do we put the signs? The diagonally opposite elements will have the same sign. So plus D and A will have the same positive sign, and minus C and minus B, that is C and B, will have the same negative sign. So and then you take a transpose of this, that is a row becomes column and the column becomes the row. D minus E, which is a row here, becomes a column here. Minus BA, which is a row here, becomes a column here. And voila, you have the answer. So it's a very easy 3 mark sum, so don't miss out on this.